So let's be candid here. The whole 24 Hours of Lemons thing, I mean, it only exists because I came up with a funny name for a thing. It was a joke.
Thanks, author.
And that was everything. So in a similar vein, Nick came up with this idea for a race. We wanted to go to the Pacific Northwest. We wanted to do this new race there. We couldn't think of anything to call it. And then even when we think of a name, it's got to have a patch. And Nick came up with, hey, grunge rock, Pacific Northwest. How about smells like AMC Spirit? We all said, yeah, that's funny. We can do a patch. Great, let's do it. What we did not expect, for the very first race, 4 AMC Spirits showed up.
Not 2, not 3.
We didn't even think there were 4 AMC Spirits left in the world.
And even better than the fact that there were 4 AMC Spirits was that each one of the 4 had its own unique personality. For starters, you had the Rattlesnake Electric Sport AMC Spirit. This car was really cheaty. It had some kind of really hot-rodded, high-compression V8, fancy suspension. We didn't give it any penalty laps because we figured it would explode, which it did, but when it was running, it was by far the fastest of the 4 AMC Spirits.
Yeah, second fastest would have been the hella shitty car. These guys, they're good preparers. They're pretty good drivers. They had it tightened up a little bit. They had these giant 15x10 steel racing wheels with big tires on it from, I think it was from Matt Adair's old Jeep. And they went around. They were pretty quick. But the car, it was an AMC Spirit. It didn't last very long. It wasn't super successful either.
Lowball Racing, they brought a factory Spirit AMX.
Why you ruin classic?
Yeah, so this is obviously the factory Skunk Works speed version. This car really didn't run at all. Until Sunday, they had a lot of teething problems, but it had the really cool Spirit AMX factory graphics package.
And the 4th AMC Spirit was my favorite of all. It was Team Lowball. Now, they are AMC racing experts because they also race a Gremlin and a Hornet down in Texas where they're from. They heard about this race, they heard the name and said, well, clearly, I mean, we're the dominant force in 70s AMC racing. We have to be there. So they didn't have Spirit, but they drew a line from their house to the track in Shelton, Washington. They said, somewhere along here, there is a used AMC Spirit. They found one. They drove to the car. They picked up the car, sight unseen, bought it, threw it in the trailer, drove the rest of the way. They knew the internal dimensions of the cockpit were more or less like a Gremlin. They knew how to put a cage in a Gremlin. So they just brought a lot of Gremlin tubes and welders and saws and stuff. But they figured it all out. They got a car, they got it to pass tech, they got it perfectly legal, all the safety equipment was in place. It was hella slow, it was super original, it was terrible, but it worked. And when the race started, they were right out there. And the best thing about it that I love the most, it was slow, it was stock, nobody could screw with it, it did not have big tires, it didn't have a high compression V8 that needed race gas like a Rattlesnake Electric. Guess who got the most laps? These guys. They won the Spirit Championship with a car that they had not seen 36 hours before the race. That's fantastic.
So the moral of the story is, occasionally we'll come up with a real dumb joke, and you Lemons people will come back at us with something even dumber. And we love that. And on that note, I think that we should try to inspire you guys. I don't know, maybe our next race will be the Baja 1000, where you guys will bring 500 Baja Bugs and 500 Subaru Bajas.
Thanks for watching Lemons World.
Don't forget to subscribe.